an iscuí ceistena eile agus an céad ceist a cheachta Andrew Somínachon.
Minister, the Commission on Pensions proposal to change PRSI or to charge it on supplementary pensions, it's a real worry for people, especially for people whom it's the only source of income. Can you outline the strategy in dealing with this, and will you resist it?
Thank you, Deputy, for raising this very important issue. The Pensions Commission report was published on the 7th of October. It established that the current state pension system is not sustainable into the future and that changes are needed. The report set out a wide range of recommendations in relation to the state pension system and social insurance fund, including PRSI-based broadening measures. In the interests both of older people and future generations of older people, the Government intends to consider the comprehensive and far-reaching recommendations in the Pension Commission's report very carefully and holistically. The report has been referred to the Joint Committee on Social Protection, Community and Rural Development and the Islands. The committee published its views yesterday. I and my officials will obviously include these in our deliberations over the coming weeks. Separately, as set out in its terms of reference, the Commission on Taxation and Welfare is considering the report of the Pension Commission in the context of its review of potential changes to the social insurance system, including relevant PRSI rate and coverage recommendations. In addition, my officials are examining each of the recommendations and consulting across government through the Cabinet Committee system. I think it's really important that we complete that work and get those views before reaching conclusions on any one recommendation, such as the recommendations to remove the exemption to pay PRSI on supplementary pension income, occupational and personal pensions and public sector pensions. I intend bringing a recommended response and implementation plan to government by the end of March this year. The state pension is the bedrock of the pension system in Ireland. It is extremely effective at ensuring that our pensioners do not experience poverty. This government is committed to ensuring that this remains the case for current pensioners, those nearing state pension age and today's young workers, including those who are only starting their careers. So I hope this clarifies the matter for the Deputy.
Minister, and as you say, the state pension is a bedrock of the system. However, there are people who, for different reasons, don't qualify for one. They're not in receipt. And the draft Commission report, it recommended that pensioners would pay more PRSI, both by having the solidarity rate, but also by removing the exemption on supplementary pensions. Supplementary pensions sounds like something extra. For many people, it is their only source of income. I'm pleased that the Joint Committee published this report and made recommendations around the PRSI changes. But the whole question around the supplementary pensions, it needs to be addressed. Pat, for example, who has written to me, and a number of others outline it is their only source of income. They have already paid pension levy. The purchasing power has been reduced. So what certainty can you give people, especially those who are in receipt of those pensions, on that they won't see a cut in their pension?
Thank you, Deputy. I've outlined the process still to go on this. There is a process here. So you'll appreciate that I'm not in a position to stand here today and tell you which recommendations government will accept or otherwise. Those discussions will continue over the coming weeks and months. And as I say, the plan is that government will outline its full response to the Commission's recommendations by the end of March. And I do appreciate there are concerns out there, but let's not be in any doubt about this. There are no easy options. People are living longer, which is obviously very positive, but it does mean that there are challenges. Today we have 4.5 people working for every 1 pensioner. By 2050, we'll have 2 people working for every 1 pensioner. The current pension system is not sustainable, and there is no getting away from that fact. And of course, this is not a problem that's unique to Ireland. Countries all over the world are grappling with the same issue.
Minister, many of those that are contacting me, they point to the fact that there's no pensioner on the Commission of Pensions, and they're worried about how they're having their say, or how their voice is going to be part of the whole engagement. And in the absence, they see these different proposals coming forward, threatening proposals that they feel will be reducing their income, their only income. So, Minister, how do you propose that their voices would be heard within the system in view of the fact that there was no pensioner on the Commission of Pensions?
Thank you. Well, actually, there was a broad range of people on the Pensions Commission. There was somebody from, I think it was I'm not sure, I just can't remember at the top of my head. It was either Age Action or Age Friendly Ireland on that commission. There were a lot of experts. There were, and as you know, Josephine Feely, who headed up that commission on pensions, and we took a broad range of people, and I think whenever I announced the members of the commission, it was broadly welcomed by everybody that there was a good mix of people. There were some young people, older people, academics and actuarials, experts in the area of pensions, and there were people represented, the unions were represented on it, so SIP2 was there. So can I just say that there was a broad range. They spent they spent a huge amount of time considering this, and there's hundreds of pages in their report. So to be fair to them, they did a huge body of work. And as I said to you earlier, I'm not going to start commenting on any specific measure, but we can't pick and mix. It's a package of measures, and government, the government will decide, and we'll bring a recommendation at the end of March.